Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. My name is Marion Golda. I'm a civil engineer and your host here is Wanjisi Talks. Today we're talking about mechatronics engineering, and I appreciate all of you who are tuned in. Please tell us where you are watching us from in the comment section. I have today with me someone who is going to talk to us about mechatronics engineering. And as always, we've always had these deep dives to help those who are making choices, career choices, to help those who are almost graduating. They want to know what's going on in the industry. And also those already in the industry, you always have something to learn from each and every person. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here and to join us. And I want to take this moment to welcome our guest, Franklin, to introduce himself. Today, we want through his journey. We want to go through how he was able to navigate the industry, how he was the skills that are important for the industry. He will share some of the career paths for mechatronics engineering, what interests he had in joining mechatronics engineering, and more. So, if you have
Yeah.
questions for Franklin, as we always do it, just type it in the comment and we'll be able to see it. So, Karibu Franklin.
Thank you so much, Marion. Thank you. Okay, my name is Franklin Owie. By profession, I'm a mechatronics service technician. I've done industrial mechatronics technology, but I've just seen your theme from business degree to mechatronics engineering. I had not seen that yet. I've just seen actually the theme of this particular talk from business degree because I was actually doing a Bachelor of Commerce initially. What I started upon after my high school academics was Bachelor of Commerce finance option. So I ended up pursuing industrial mechatronics merely, I would say, a year. 1 year after I was in the job section, maybe a year, at most a year. A year after my graduation, that is. Uh, it was a it was a data center. It was a data collection center. That's what I was in a clerical job. So personally, I shifted to mechatronics mainly because I would say the hands-on skills. I'm more comfortable with the hands-on skill than a professional whereby I'm seated most. So that initiated or rather made me move to mechatronics. Yeah. This was in 2022. I'm a fresh graduate actually. I just finished last year. Yes. Currently, I'm doing mechanical maintenance engineering at MRG Composites. Yeah, it's supply and manufacture of GFRP bars, glass fiber polymer bars. They are used
Okay.
for construction. Yes. Yes. Okay, you've just mentioned. Hopefully, I'm
Okay.
audible still. You're
Thank you,
able to
Frank.
get. Yeah.
Yes, yes, you can hear you. You can hear you very clearly.
Yes.
I actually used that on the poster because I thought it was very interesting. Normally, I think you find people coming from engineering to business or engineering
Yeah. Yeah.
to other careers, but it's very engineering.
Yes.
So, did you
But
always want to do mechatronics or did you always want to do engineering? Which one?
okay, no. For me, I would say
Initially,
it's the
high school, did you?
yeah. Okay. Pardon. Kindly pardon what you've just asked. I'm sorry. Kindly repeat. For a minute, you've broken down. Kindly repeat.
Yeah, I'm asking. Like initially, you can you hear me now? I was saying
I can hear you comfortably
usually,
now.
people have okay. I think at high school stage you start having people develop interest. yeah, you have people develop interest and they start saying to maybe do engineering or I'd like to do business. Initially, did you have an interest in engineering before you went to business school, or it's after business school that you realize, okay, this is not the path for me?
Yeah, okay. I
Let
think,
me try engineering. Was it initially there, or did it come up
yeah,
later?
okay.
Yeah.
I think for me it came after I had started working a bit in the accounting field. So the scope of work, I guess, the scope of work didn't really align with me. Okay, on a daily to daily basis, I wouldn't see myself sitting in an office, maybe handling accounting softwares and so on a daily basis. Not really. So for me, I think it came so easy. Hands-on skills came so very much easy. Also, basing on my background, I would say my background matters a lot, of course. But yeah, for me, hands-on skills came so much easier. So I didn't hesitate actually to start, and more so dual training. If you have heard of you've heard of GIZ and IHK. They introduced dual training not far ago. So dual training was very compatible with the TVET program. So it wasn't the normal period, 3 months, so you spend on the industrial block, but rather how across the whole 3 years that you're in the institution, you also get to fully participate uh, in the industrial field. So you actually get to acquire hands-on skills. You actually you get to know what exactly happens in the industrial setup. How do things fail and how are things corrected? How are solutions brought about? So the dual training program that JZ actually supports and promoted. JZ, HK, the Tibet Authority. So there is the dual training program that they come about. JZ supports the student to train in a company continuously while he's still studying, he or she is still studying. So by the long run, before you come to graduate, you're actually more conversant with exactly what you're doing. Yeah. So I guess that prompted me. I don't know. That partly prompted me to fall and start the program, the industrial mechatronics program, because okay, yeah, it was partly because of the dual training program, but more so engineering. It came easy also.
Okay. 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 Okay.
I'm not sure if it's my connection, though hopefully I'm audible still. I'm not sure if but my connection is quite stable. Marion are a bit breaking off, but on and off.
Okay. So, sorry that frankly, I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
So we have a somebody is already asking Vincent. Um, he already has a question from what you are saying. He's saying, what is the career path of a mechatronics engineer in Kenya in a company beyond maintenance?
That's a nice question, Vincent. That's a nice question though. What is the career path of a mechatronics engineer in Kenya in a company beyond maintenance? Okay, so for industrial mechatronics, it does not solemnly based on maintenance, machine maintenance, or other installation commissioning. So it doesn't
Mm,
necessarily based on machine maintenance. We have
mm,
quality control, for example. An industrial
yeah.
mechatronics engineer can be a quality control engineer. You can fall under quality
Mm,
control. Yeah. Uh,
yeah.
it's it's a wide field actually. Sincerely, it's not necessary to do machine maintenance. And by machine maintenance, again,
Mm,
it varies. Machine maintenance, depending on the industry that you're working in, you'll get to actually do different sort of jobs, yeah? Different scope of work, different technologies. Right now, you're talking about
mm,
industry 4.0 or 5.0. So, depending on the
mm,
industry that you're working in, you're not necessarily handling machine maintenance
yeah.
initially. Yeah. So, mechatronics, remember, you're
Yeah.
talking about mechanical and electrical. Yeah. So, you actually get to deal with a lot of things. You actually get to deal with a lot of so machine maintenance, it's wide since troubleshooting is machine maintenance. Yeah. Troubleshooting this by means of, for example, you're configuring frequency drive parameters, maybe PLCs. So troubleshooting control logic, that's machine maintenance still. So it's not really on the preventive and breakdown maintenance, but it's still under machine maintenance. So it's actually a wide scope. Sincerely speaking, depending on the industry that you're working in, it's actually a wide scope. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think one of the things that graduates especially ask for is now after, let's say, I graduated today. You've talked of maintenance not being the only option for a mechatronics engineer or somebody with a or somebody who wants to do mechatronics or somebody who wants to be a mechatronic
Yes.
extensively through like the career paths available to them, and also extensively through some of the places that they can work, because it's not always clear to everyone where they can work. Sometimes
Yeah.
people, you literally finish school and you have your degree and you don't even know where to step in next, especially if you don't have opportunity for like attachment or internship before you finish your school. And you said you had a yeah. So can you maybe walk us through what that looks like for mechatronics?
Okay. I was talking initially. I don't know why Vincent Moria sounds a familiar name. I knew an engineer from this from Dekut called
Did
Vincent
you get my
Moria.
question?
Yeah, I got your question though. I got your
Mm-hmm.
question. I'm getting to it. Uh, you've mentioned about my journey through mechatronics specifically. My journey through mechatronics specifically, how I took it. Okay, now you'll find
Okay.
for industrial mechatronics, we have bachelors in industrial mechatronics. We have tertiary, that's TVET, a diploma in industrial mechatronics. Okay, so we are at that century whereby for degree students, the exposure that they get to meet or across the years that they are studying, the exposure actually that they get to, they get the technologies that they're exposed to in the long run across the 6 years that you're covering your bachelor's degree course. It's actually very limited. Now, for me, my journey was different since from the very first day I started my institution, my academic institution, from the very first day.
Mm,
I got attached to a company. So
yeah.
GZ is this particular German
Yeah.
organization whereby they arrange for individuals or other students to get attached to a company from the very
Yeah.
first day. So 3 months you're in class, the next 3 months you get to the industry. So after another 3 months, you switch, you continue switching
Mm,
in intervals of every 3 months. This is particularly the reason for this is you need to actually understand properly, grasp entirely what actually is going on in an industrial setup. What are the challenges that you get to face in operating these particular machines? What actually happens? What are the standards that you observe? The safety standards, the quality standards, OSHA standards. What are the standards that you observe actually in an industrial setup? So besides you learning this in the classroom, you get to actually experience and understand clearly and participate in exactly what's going on in an industrial setup. So by the time you're actually finishing your course, you get that your understanding, or rather your grasp, your knowledge, your skills of doing this particular work is actually it's very good. So most of the people or other individuals that you find in doing training, they get absorbed in these particular companies that they began training with. Most German companies, most even Indian companies, they absorb the individuals that they began the program with. So it's a bit different journey because you, there is no that hustle of actually looking for work also. Because I understand, because there is the hustle of you have to look for work again, because
Yeah.
you finish from school, it doesn't mean you have experience. You don't have experience. You have the knowledge, but you don't have the experience actually. So employers look for the experience. They look for someone who has shown that they can solve this
Yeah.
problem. They have solved this problem before. So maybe I have a portfolio showing I've worked in this particular, I've been attached to this particular industry as an intern across 3 years. I've handled this particular sort of breakdowns, and I've dealt with this particular sort of components, maybe Siemens, Alan Bradley, Mitsubishi. You've dealt with this particular sort of machines. So an employer will look for that experience. I'm not looking for, okay, sincerely these days it's less of the paper qualification and the experience you can offer, the solutions that you can offer to the table. So the dual training, it's sort of a different journey a bit, but yeah, for me, that's how, if I understand what you're asking, for me, that's how the dual training came about. So it was versatile, but it was, yeah, for me, it was okay. Yeah, it's a bit different from the normal bachelor training in a degree institution.
Actually, you have touched on it's kind of like I don't know. It's very controversial. Like the diploma studies better than bachelor study debate. But what I love, you are hands-on from day one. You know, that is so different from the experience I had, even myself. Though I'm not in mechatronics, but it's so different from the experience that most people have. The first day of the first day of school,
Yeah,
standing, and I see why it's easier to get absorbed by the companies. Why when you're done schooling, because you it works both ways. Thank you,
yeah.
thank you, thank you so much for that. So
It's
something
okay.
else that I wanted to ask you is when it
Yeah.
comes to now that you're getting the hands-on skills, maybe
Yes.
what skills have you come to appreciate most in the is it only technical skills, or what kind of skills should somebody look to cultivate to have it easier to get into the industry or to stay into the industry? And also I also wanted to know if your business knowledge came in handy eventually after you got
Yeah.
into engineering.
Yeah. 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 Okay. I would say not only technical skills. Technical skills definitely they come in handy. Technical skills, by technical skills we try to talk about uh, manual interest, basically your interest as a maybe your hands-on troubleshooting techniques, how fast you are, how quick you are. So these are basically just technical skills. So how quick you are to do something but accurately. So technical skills come in handy, but also soft skills. Soft skills, because it's not all action. It's not normally all action. You have to pause sometimes and understand that problem solving comes in handy. Problem solving. So mechatronics, you're dealing with machines. Machines, they're not something new. So probably when a machine breaks down, it has happened before, or rather, it's something that was bound to happen. So problem solving under pressure, that is because at the same time, your manager, or rather your supervisor, is expecting production to continue. So problem solving under pressure, of course. So that's a soft skills again, a soft skill that is so important, I would say. Besides that, discipline and reliability. The more you're disciplined, the more you're reliable, the more you're dependable, I would say, the more you get to attract more value. So discipline and reliability, you get to do your work properly. That is, so yeah, discipline and reliability. My commerce knowledge. So in the long run, I don't have to. Okay, Gen Zs, millennials, I'm a Gen Z actually. Millennials, they we have that culture that we have to work past up to 50 years and 60 years. Okay, I feel at this particular point in life, rather this particular age of world where we are, it's not as we can do it in a way that it's not necessarily I have to be employed or rather work in the long run up to 50 or rather 60 years. So in the sense that I'm tiring off my body completely and not actually enjoying my life also. So commerce really enabled me to see things outside the box also. So in the long run, for the short period, or rather for I would say 4 years, I've been in the field. Um, I've come to focus outside my employer. Okay, it's maybe the particular people hearing this information might perceive it differently, but yeah, I've come to focus outside my employer in the sense that I look to do work outside my employer. So not necessarily I'm depending on this particular single source of work, but the same skills I gain on this particular work, I imagine I can use it to maximize and do other things that can be beneficial to me. So commerce really has told me to be versatile in the skills that I have. This is something that I think I learned in business. It's something that I think I learned in business. Yeah. I have to be so versatile with my skills. Maximize, be as efficient as you can. If you can do something outside of work, of course, and off hours, you can do it. Yeah. I have a company, it's called Industrial Logics. We do maintenance services. That is something just besides. That's something on my own I do on my own. So that is something I give credit to actually business studies. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say, Franklin, but that's impressive. When you're starting schooling, you're already working. You're now starting just in the industry, you already have a company going. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to actually be solution providers as engineers. They're supposed to create opportunities for others. And that's actually what we want to see going on. And speaking, and the reason why I asked you about commerce, if your commerce knowledge is coming in, is not because later engineers, when they come out of school, they focus on the technical things, but then eventually they realize the bottom line is the money. It's how to bring the money, how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make the
yeah.
profit. So by the time you get there, it's always way later in your career when you
Yeah.
realize the bottom line it's the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
you
bottom line
find
is the
people
money.
now
Yeah.
they go do MBAs. There's now going to
Yeah.
be MBAs to come to understand that part of running engineering business. Yeah, yeah. So something
For
else while
example,
you're
you,
speaking,
I
I also
saw
thought about something else. Now when it comes, yes,
you're mentioning something else.
yeah, I was saying while you were speaking, I realized that there is also this part of skills. I don't know if it applies to mechatronics, which I would like you to also paint a picture of what mechatronics engineering is, especially for those who have not started doing the studies. First of all, and when you're doing designs, do you use any kind of softwares, or is there any kind of software skills that somebody is supposed to be having?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh, okay. I'll assume for a person to first pick to do engineering, you have the interest that to deal with technical things, for example. That is why you'll pick to do engineering, I'll assume. Or passion, maybe. But yeah, it's so wide. Engineering is so wide. Mechatronics, specifically, industrial mechatronics technology, it is very wide. You'll get to interact with softwares. Yes, you get to interact with softwares like TIA, uh, WPL Soft, AutoCAD. So these are basically softwares that get to you use to control program controllers that get to control the logic sequences that happen in an industrial setup. So, and there are different sort of softwares, designing softwares, SolidCAD, Solid Edge, ArchiCAD, AutoCAD. So there are different sort of softwares depending on the work, or rather the specification that you want to do. Do you want to do designing? Do you want to do programming? Uh, yeah. So, uh, but it's wide, actually. It's wide. So for soft skills, definitely, I would say it's wide. It's depending on the specific thing that you want to do. It's wide. If I want to talk about softwares, it's a whole different topic. It's very wide, actually, because there are so many softwares depending on different types of devices. That is, controllers. The most common devices use Siemens devices. They are versatile but quite expensive. So Siemens devices use TIA Portal. That's a software used to program this particular device. We have Delta devices. Delta devices use a software called WPL Soft or ISP Soft. So these are basically softwares that are used to program. Manufacturers, when they sell machines, uh, machines come with pre-programmed logic. So it's not something that you're doing on a daily basis or you're doing commonly. No, sequences come already. A machine, for example, it's used, for example, under food and beverages. I'll give an example in a different company, different industry, food and beverages industry. There is this common company, Coca-Cola, Krones. So, for example, fillers and labelers and capping machines for this bottle to come to this customer as it is. So these machines comes with pre-programmed code. Yeah, for you to interact and maybe alter the code and maybe change, it's rare. But maybe when you're doing retrofits, maybe you're adding something more to your line, or maybe when you're handling change of devices component, maybe it's you're replacing. So yeah, there are different softwares used for different brands, actually, and we have like over 20 brands controlling machines right now. I'll say I'm not sure, but yeah, over 20 brands. Back off, there are quite a number. ABB, Danfoss drives, that is. So there are quite a number, actually. Different softwares get to be used, or rather maximized, to operate different specific brands. Yes.
Okay. So you need the skills. The bottom line is you need the software skills, but there
Yes.
are too many and they're used for different purposes.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. Okay. Okay. And now, Franklin, I'm so glad that you mentioned coming out and starting like a company of your own, and that your knowledge in commerce also came in handy to help you with that. I wanted to ask you, how did you find starting your own company in the Kenyan market, and some of the challenges that somebody who wants to get into an entrepreneurship with mechatronics background, mechatronics technology background. Is it challenging? Is it What are some of the challenges? What are some of the experiences that you've learned that you can be able to share with someone who wants to take that route?
Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming I'm talking to most be it a fresh graduate or maybe just a fresh engineer who has just started in the field. When you're talking about starting your own company, the main goal is mostly to be the solutions provider. So you provide the solutions yourself, you market yourself at a higher value. That's the main goal, mostly, of opening up your own company. You yourself being the solution provider. So the problem, the main challenge, it's not acquire, it's been said a lot, but the main challenge actually, capital, capital. Even if you're talking about a public limited company or a private limited company, capital, capital. So first of all, we are in Kenya. We're in Kenya. I think LLC right now it's the minimum 12,000, 13,000 to just register. Yeah. And this is plus more additional charges you have to do, confirming the name of the company and all that. But yeah, so for somebody who's just starting, this is not money I will say that you're coming across on a normal basis. Yeah. So capital, definitely it comes in as a challenge. Consistency. Consistency. So I've only done two jobs. I've only done two jobs, official jobs, being contracted by a company. That is the only two. The others, maybe your friend is calling you, there is job somewhere, you come attend to it. That don't expect to be paid, or rather to be consistency. So consistency. But I think industrial logics. I have a page. Industrial logics is about 2 years, 2 years old. But yeah, it's about 1.5 years old. Yeah. But officially, I've only done two jobs on site, being contracted officially by a company, come do this particular job, maybe a programming job, maybe only two. But yeah, so consistency, I would say just consistency. And in most cases, look at the sheen that you can intermingle with comfortably. The guys that will pick you up, because most engineering jobs you're not looking to do them alone. They are tiresome. It's not something that you'll tend to contract, and so you have to group of individuals, maybe six, maybe five, maybe four, group of individuals that you can handle work. Because if you are daring to go into that direction, yeah, so you'll be doing scope of work, large scope of work, but the manpower is minimal. So if you're a group of individuals, it makes it best. You can handle work much easily, and yeah, you can deliver the deadline that you promised to the client. So yeah, if you're looking towards the company side, yeah, consistency and of course the charges involved. So capital, again, capital comes in so highly, very very highly, I would say. But yeah, ni kujipanga pia, nafaa tu unajipanga, and then yeah.
What's one thing, okay, now that you're 2 years in, one thing that you wish you knew 2 years ago before you started that would make it easier for you?
Okay, specifically on the company side, or generally
Yeah,
about mechatronics. Okay,
yeah, the company side, yeah.
I would have started marketing my services way earlier. I would
Mm,
have started marketing my capabilities, my skills way
mm,
earlier.
mm,
Yeah, I think I was reluctant a bit. I was reluctant. I was dependent. I
mm,
was limited to where I was attached initially. Where I was, I
mm,
would have started getting out there way earlier, way
mm.
earlier. Because for this market, sincerely, it's there to be exploited. Sincerely, as
Yeah.
long as you're just agile enough, I think one regret I say I will have started getting out there way earlier. I will have marketed myself way earlier. Yeah, I think I was late on that also.
That is, I love that actually, frankly, because visibility and networks,
Yeah,
and I mean, like right now you're talking of having done two official jobs. Those people are going to, I mean, they're going to be spreading the word. If you want to do this, look for Franklin.
yeah,
But also you need to be visible. So, like, you need to be visible. So I don't know what steps have you taken, because I think this is a conversation that I've also had with other engineers about
Yeah,
how we tend to focus on delivering the job. We want to just deliver the job, but we don't focus on being seen, like ensuring people out there, whoever needs our services, know that we are there.
yeah, true, true.
They know that
Branding,
we
yeah,
exist.
true.
Yes,
Yeah,
they know that we exist, because they can't look for you if they don't know that you exist.
yeah, true,
Yeah.
true.
So
Okay,
like what, mhm. Please go ahead.
okay. I would say for me, it's the circle that I'm with, the people that I see in different companies, the colleagues that are working in different companies. They're the ones I
Mm,
would say I've maximized to reach out and inform them that I'm actually offering this particular service.
mhm,
It's so in the long run also I think or I know it's my
mm,
capability. The fact that someone you've worked with, or rather someone I've trained with before, knows I'm competent to do this particular thing quite
mm,
efficiently, he or she will reach out to me to
mm,
say, there is
mm,
work here, can you tend to it? So I will say, in the long run, okay, I've not done very much branding. I have a page, I have a shirt, but I've not done much branding because also it requires money in the long run. For you to do on-site branding
yeah.
properly, it requires money. Yeah. So yeah,
Mm,
but
mm,
I will say the people you're in contact with, the people you're working with, as long as you're leaving a good
mm,
impression, as long as you're working properly,
mm,
you're efficient enough. So yeah, they'll refer. In the long run, you get to be referred. There is more work here to be done.
mm. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
one
Uh,
just one
yeah.
thing to mention,
Mm,
just when you're talking about your company, you see the 9 to 5 schedule, it's a bit tricky.
mm,
Currently, the 9 to 5 schedule, and more so if you're not employed by a very good employer. Okay, in
mm,
Kenya, most Indian companies, Indian managed companies, Indian employers, they are not
mm,
the best. They're not the best employers to work for and have something separate that you're doing on your own. It's not
mm,
really possible. It's not possible. So again, depending on your employer, depending on your hours, your time, it will
mm,
judge how how dedicated, rather committed you are to do something different. Yeah.
mm. Okay. Okay. So something else that you had talked of is, there's a time you talked on food and beverage, and the time you talked on food and beverage, and I don't know what if you talked of any other industries. Which industries are okay for people who want to take the job route? Not even for people who want to take the job route, even personal, like contracting.
Yeah.
Which industries are mechatronics engineers appreciated the most? Which industry appreciated? Because it's like you're bringing together
Yeah.
mechanical and
Electrical.
it's very
Yeah.
tricky, because there are mechanical engineers out there, there are also electrical engineers out there, and then there's you with mechanical and electrical. So
Yeah.
where are they appreciated most? Where they have an upper hand, that even if you have like electrical alone or mechanical alone,
Yeah.
I mean, they would choose a mechatronic.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
will choose this person who has both mechanical and electrical.
And electrical. Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
nice. Okay. I will say for me, I'll give an example of myself.
Yeah.
I'm a service mechatronics technician, but
Yeah.
currently I am a mechanical maintenance engineer at
Mm-hmm.
a construction company.
Mm.
Construction company MRG Composites. I'm a
Mm.
mechanical engineer.
Wow.
So the main upper hand that I had,
Mm.
I'm able to sort, or rather I'm able to handle both electrical
Mm.
issues and mechanical issues. So it gives you an upper hand sort of. You're employing as a mechanical engineer, but we know you're conversant with this particular control circuits, power circuits. So in the long run, doing this particular job within a shorter period, it's actually because for for mechanical to work, you need electrical. For systems, in our industrial setup right now, most systems, they're electromechanical systems. It's so
Okay.
difficult for you to purely find a mechanical system, a pulley
Yeah.
system purely mechanically. It's so
Mm.
difficult. So most
Mm.
systems, sincerely, right now, the age of technology that we are in, they are
Yeah.
electromechanical systems. Electrical mechanical systems in the sense that it uses electrical energy to run the mechanical
Mm.
part. So yeah,
Mm.
it gives you an upper hand in most industries. Most industries, besides food and beverages, we have printing and packaging industries. Besides that, we have the construction industry. I mean, a construction industry. Yeah.
Mm.
So besides that, yeah, we have the energy companies. We have Acton, Schneider Electric. They normally are very in air to employ mechatronics. So the energy companies also, the energy industry, petroleum and energy. Yes.
Okay. 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 That's actually that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Most right now, most of the, did you say the devices or whatever, they come as both electromechanical.
Yes.
So
Most
a
systems.
mechatronics engineer will always have an upper hand.
Yes.
I actually love how you put that. Okay, we have another question. Um, we have another question coming just now from Vincent again. He's saying another question. Mechatronics being very multidisciplinary. In your opinion, is it better to be a jack of all trades or a specialist in a small niche?
I think it's best to be a jack of all trades. I think it's best to be a jack of all trades because, as I've put it before, you get to understand the system even much, much better. You get to understand how exactly. So, for civil engineers, okay, you might not really, but yeah, for
Mm,
mechanical parts, they run power circuits, mostly mechanical. So control circuits are mostly run, that's electrically. So the control circuit it runs the power circuit. So for you to understand this entirely, even industrial motors, induction motors, the normal induction motors, uh, stepper motors, servo drives. So basically, it's mechanical. It has mechanical couplings, there are bearings, but you also have to understand the electrical bit of it. Yeah. So you being conversant with both gives you an upper hand to actually manage or rather handle the problem for what you are facing. So I would say being a
mm,
jack of all trades is a lot better. It's much better
mm.
than a smaller niche. Yeah.
Okay, okay, there is an answer for you, Vincent. And you're right. For for civil, it might not be the right the right. It may not be very easy to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess mechatronics, that's the way to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Okay. So I think we've been able to see the industries where mechatronics engineers are appreciated. We've been able to also see your journey as Franklin, and also the business side of engineering as well, and also
Yeah.
the skills um, that a mechatronics engineer should be able to focus on to be
Yeah.
able to, have an upper hand, make it in the industry,
Yeah. True.
yeah, and things like that. So I think we've been able literally to cover through our all our deep dive parts of our deep
Yes.
dive that we usually cover. And I encourage the audience, if you have any more questions, please let us know so that we can cover them. But at this point, I would just like to ask you, Franklin, to share maybe one thing that you would tell somebody who is making a decision to come into mechatronics and paint,
Yes.
because one of the people who asked for this conversation was a student who was going to start their studies at Kiambu Polytechnic. I think they were going to do
Yeah,
a diploma in industrial mechatronics technology. So they reached out and they were asking me, Marion, is this a marketable is this something that I can break through in the Kenyan market? Is this
yeah,
something that I can finish? Then I know that I can be able to have an opportunity in the Kenyan market. So I'd just
yeah.
like you to specifically speak to speak to that student right now. And I think if you don't have any question from the audience, we can close it at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You've mentioned Kiambu National Polytechnic. That's the best
Yeah.
choice. That's a very good choice. If the very
Mm,
individual mentioned is
mm,
starting from Kiambu National,
mm,
that's a nice choice because I just want to mention again. I mentioned previously, but I just want to highlight. There is this.
mm.
We have this organization called GIZ,
Yeah.
and we have an organization called AHK.
Yeah.
GIZ and AHK, and guys can look it up. You can learn more about it. GIZ and
Yeah.
AHK, these are German organizations that came into the Kenyan market
Mm,
to they are the ones who started dual training because they wanted to
mm,
improve the industrial skill sets that
mm,
actually engineers have, yeah, before
mm,
even they start to onboard for jobs.
mm,
So Kiambu, besides Kiambu National Polytechnic, there are other
mm,
institutions that actually support dual training. If somebody
mm,
is if somebody out there is looking to start industrial mechatronics, I'll advise
mm,
through tertiary and through dual training supported by
mm,
GIZ. Because in the long run, you get to be posted, not necessarily I'm not saying you'll necessarily start your career from there, but the place you'll be posted when you begin your studies, you'll
mm,
probably be absorbed in that company.
mm,
Because most companies I've seen, especially white companies, like this, the Mzungu managed companies, they tend to train somebody, and then after 3 years, they will not want to let you go. Instead, they'll prefer to absorb you for work after
mm,
training you for those 3 particular years. So I would say in this particular field, it's very it's marketable. It's marketable. I'll advise it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea to
mm,
go for. Again, the
mm,
problem is doing a tertiary, doing a diploma, not a degree. That is the controversy
mm,
that's always been there. Why a diploma and not a degree? I have done a diploma. I have also done a degree, so I can say I can attest sincerely.
mm,
Unless for a degree, unless you know, because in the normal cases, you'll have to be attached for the 3 months, 4 months. You'll go for the attachment. You're doing a degree
mm,
course.
mm,
So unless you're familiar to where you are attached, unless you're
mm,
familiar with the management, in such a case that
mm,
you will come back to maybe claim a position after you finish your studies, it's
mm,
normally very difficult for them to pull you back after you finish your studies. You just did a 4 month. It's normally quite difficult. Instead, they just give it's called a recommendation letter,
mm,
internship recommendation letter. So it's normally quite difficult for them to absorb. But the difference is for a diploma, the fact that you're training in that particular institution across that
mm,
whole period, you
mm,
are more likely absorbed into that particular profession. So yeah, that's what I can say. It's not a bad idea,
mm,
but
mm.
I've also met
Franklin,
degree. Yeah,
yes.
yes. It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea.
You know, right now is I'd actually you've mentioned something that Kiambu Polytechnic supports dual training.
Yes,
So is this is for specific institution or GIZ? I actually wanted to talk a bit about
yes,
GIZ. It
yes.
partner
That
with
thing.
like an organization that partners with
Yes,
institution
yes,
or
yes. I felt as if it's not been passed across properly. GIZ, this is across specific institutions. We have Kiambu, we have Nairobi Technical, we have
mm,
Thika mechanical. We have, I think we have one in Nyeri. So it's not, GIZ does not only support mechatronics. It's not dual. It's not only across mechatronics profession. It's across other different professions. We have automotive engineering. We have catering. We have, so it's across different professions. GIZ supports these particular, but only through specific institutions.
Okay.
So GIZ, it comes to an agreement with the particular set of companies and the institutions, learning institutions. So this particular individual is placed in this particular learning institution and at the same time attached to this particular company. So you go to both. In interview for 3 months, you attend both. The main purpose of this is for you to acquire the industrial skills that are needed for you to actually do the work, and not only the soft skills that you get to learn, or rather the knowledge that you get to learn in a classroom. So the main purpose of this is for you to actually understand and acquire the industrial skills. So by the time you're actually finishing, you're actually a very competent engineer who actually delivers for the company. So GZ, and it's a very good program. GZ, it's common. It's supported also by Teveta Authority. Teveta Authority is in charge of private institutions. So it's something that if you're a parent, you can look it up before you onboard your daughter or rather your son into a mechatronics. If you want to onboard into a mechatronics course, look up GIZ, look up the courses they offer, look up the institutions they support. It's a very, very good program. Yeah.
I'm actually so grateful to learn that, honestly. Really grateful to learn that from you, Franklin. And
Yeah.
I think all our viewers today are actually, I mean, that would be the top takeaway from me. So what I'd ask is, if a student goes to,
Yeah.
say, Kiambu Polytechnic, do they
Yes.
have to now come to maybe the GIZ website and apply separately, or as long as they're at Kiambu and there's the partnership, automatically they're in the GIZ program?
Yeah, okay. Now, what GIZ does, it's not really GIZ offering the courses. So it's actually the institution offering the course. The institution is one offering. So you do normal application through the institution. Just normal application via the institution. So the institution, when it accepts your application, it will place you in a particular company that you'll get to be trained in. Okay. So you're doing normal application through the institution because it's the institution which is offering the course. But GIZ is
Yes.
supporting the program in the institution.
Yes.
So GIZ is not only supporting this particular institution, there are other main institutions and other different programs. So
Yeah.
it's actually through the institution that you get to know GIZ, or rather you get to be partnered with GIZ through the particular institution. So applications are done normally to the institution. Yeah.
No, the question would be, if
Yes.
I attend an institution where there's a partnership with GIZ, automatically I'll have dual training. I don't have to do a separate application to GIZ after I start my studies. As long as I'm in an
Automatically,
institution
yeah.
that it's partnering, I'm good.
Yes, and as you're doing the application, you will see the program. The program is very different. It's not the normal program it's not the normal study program. It's so much different because when you're doing the application, you just see the program. Even the program supported and the schedule, you will notice it's different. So as long as you're doing through the institution, yeah, automatically you're in GIZ program. But you will notice even the program is different. It's not the normal program that we're used to. It's not the normal academic program. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Franklin.
Yeah.
I don't know if the audience have any other question, but I think that would be it from our end. I would
Yeah.
like to really appreciate you for taking your time today to join this conversation. And I know if you have any more questions, please you tell us where we can find you on social media. because people now write me emails afterwards. How can I talk to that person who you're? They'll always ask me later. They'll send me emails. So maybe you can let us know how we can find you on
Yeah,
social media. If you're comfortable sharing your email, that's okay as well. And then
yeah,
maybe also your industry pages, your company pages. That will also be good. Yeah,
yeah.
please.
I can share the company page, the company email. I'm not on social media apparently. I can share the
Okay.
company email. I can share the
Okay.
company email. Yeah,
Okay.
I can share the company. It's but I don't know. I think I'll type into chat. I think
Okay.
I can type it
Okay.
in because it's a bit industrial logics at outlook.com.
Mm.
I'll just type in the company email and then you can reach out in case of any. Yeah, I've just shared the company email,
Okay. Let me find it.
industrial logics at
Ah.
outlook.com.
Okay.
That's the company email. Yes, I think she has left. Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and post it. Sure. Yeah. So that's you can if you want to talk more with Franklin, you can be able to get him on his email. I'll put it on the screen. And I really, really want to appreciate everyone who is able to join us this Saturday morning. And I also want to really appreciate Franklin. Uh, until next time, this is Wandisi Talks, uh, Mechatronics Engineering Deep Dive. Cheers.
Thank you too for the time. Thank you for the